November 15, there is a network upgrade. And the main change, well, there are two changes. So one of them is difficulty adjustment. So the difficulty adjustment is going to be a bit better than it is now. It should give us more consistent block time. So right now there is a variance, on average block times are 10 minutes, but sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. It's still going to be more or less, with 10 minutes on average, but it should be more consistent. So that's the first improvement. The second improvement is that we're introducing a self-funding mechanism for BCH infrastructure. And in that, in that concept, so part of it is going to go to fund the infrastructure directly, the development, but we recognize that the success of that network is not going to be just infrastructure. Like infrastructure is just one piece of it. And so for the rest of it, there is what we call the Global Network Council, which is effectively a council of people who either hold a lot of coins or who have mined a lot of blocks. And they will have to, sign messages to prove that, this is the case. And people who can prove that this is the case can send a representative to the Global Network Council. And the Global Network Council will be able to fund various projects. If those projects are, companies and stuff like that, the Global Network Council is going to get equity in those companies. And so this is reinjected then in the Global Network Council itself. That should be, I think, very interesting for big player in the space. That's also for me very bullish on BCH. Every time this kind of news, even though we have not, materialized them previously, every time this kind of news has been announced in the past, the reaction from the market has been fairly positive.
So what do businesses need to do to continue to follow the BCH chain come November 15th?
So most businesses just need to run the Bitcoin ABC software version 0.22. We have we released 0.22.4 very recently. So there are 4 versions you can pick from. Any version above 0.22 is good for the upgrade.
Are there any risks of running Bitcoin ABC instead of other node software?
I mean, no, not really. There is running other node software because right now there is no reorg protection or chain wipeout protection. So what does that mean? There are some node software that implements the same rule as Bitcoin ABC, except the self-funding mechanism. And so if someone decides to fork BCH and mine it without the self-funding, what's going to happen is that you're going to see a split. But because the rules except that are exactly the same, it's going to depend on how much hash rate there is on both chain. And if the chain with the self-funding mechanism has more hash, then the other chain is going to be wiped out, no matter how long it is or how long this has been going. So you can see, hours, day, weeks, months of transactions being reverted in that case, which is extremely, if you run a business, you really don't want that. So we are advising against doing that unless those alternative implementation implement something to protect against reorg and wipeout.